How are you doing, everyone? I'm very excited to be live today. Today, we're going to be discussing some US immigration magic. I think we just have a few minutes. I have a meeting at, very shortly, so we shouldn't be on here for too long. How's everyone doing? Happy New Year again. I hope the year is going very well for you so far. So, yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Drop me any type of emoji and drop me the flag of where you're also connecting from. If you can't locate the flag on your phone, then drop me an emoji. If you don't have emojis on your phone, just drop me something, um any comment or wave and let me know you guys are active here. So we're live on TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So across all the social media channels. So today we're going to be talking about some US immigration law magic. It's known as FOIA requests. FOIA requests, so Freedom of Information Act. What is a FOIA request? The reason I captioned this live video US immigration law magic is because of its impact and the element of surprise when you actually tell people that this process exists. So everybody, every person, all persons, everyone is entitled to ask the US government, regardless of whether you are documented or you are undocumented, regardless of where you are in the world, you have the right to ask, the US government that, can I have information that you have about me? Can you give me that information? And the US government will give you this information under what's known as the Freedom of Information Act request. Okay. Now, you can have everything they have on you depending on, how you file the request. If you are able to make the request properly, because you should be able to request the proper federal agency that actually has your records. Because if you, first of all, well, let me start by saying that, first of all, you need to understand what you're doing, because you need to know or determine which federal agency you've actually had interactions with, in order to determine where the request application is being submitted. And depending on where you're sending this request, there's a process for submitting these requests. So you're going to need to know how to send all these requests and which federal agency to even send the request to. And you sometimes want to be careful because it could trigger something. The request in and of itself could trigger something. You could also inadvertently or unintentionally give up information that you should not be giving up, in requesting your records from the US government. As I tell you guys, any information you submit about yourself to the US government can and will be used against you when necessary. So you have to be careful with all these things. But we're going to go over when do you need to, why do we even, first of all, have what is the FOIA request? I'll share my document with my screen with the people on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and then we can get into it. I see a lot of questions coming up. Guys, don't worry, I'll try my best to answer those questions soon. Okay. So why submit a records request? Why do we do that? Why do we submit a FOIA? You see, so people sometimes, what will happen is that people come to the US, they don't remember what they said, what happened at the CBP. Sometimes they don't even remember what they submitted back home at the US embassies, because they've come here, they've been here for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Sometimes they don't remember what they told, what they submitted to the US embassy in their home country. So, or even sometimes after arriving in the US, they file, people file applications. Sometimes people have court cases and they go to court and they are so flummoxed, or like they're just so overwhelmed, they're just worried. So they can't even keep track of what the judge is saying or what's happening or what was filed on their case. So this is a way to actually get your records and be able to get those records undiluted, the real thing. You're getting the real deal, right? Because once you come to us and you're trying to figure out a way to stay in the US or to file for someone, sometimes we need to pull up your record so that we see what has happened in your past and how do we review it or rectify issues, or even sometimes move on from there without causing you harm, or just being able to pretty much strategize to help you with your case. So yeah, sometimes you guys, immigration is very complex, and there are sometimes details surrounding, first of all, your entry into the US, family situation, prior interactions with criminal and immigration systems. And all these things have enormous impact on your eligibility for a specific type of relief. So filing your records will help us to determine which way to go with your case, and you will have the records forever. They become yours to keep. Our favorite method of getting the records are through the soft copies, which are the emails. So you get those records and it's yours forever. You can, you keep it for life, and you can do with it what you want. Okay, you can always refer to it and all of that. Any lawyer you go and see, you can send that, show that to them, and they can help you with any immigration related issue. Okay. Yeah, also again, because people also again, there's someone again, I'm getting a lot of questions. Oh, okay. Life is 756 says, please, number, please. Our number is on our bio, 802-780-0564 or akpokulaw.com. Okay, yeah, sometimes, as you guys know, our memories fail, right? You may not remember exactly what happened some years ago. So you need to make sure that you file these requests so that you have the proper details and information about the moving forward, about what your eligibility is for certain immigration benefits. Okay, so the next thing is, in general, let's give some of the, again, let me give them in bullet points. So first of all, we request your FOIA records to find out about prior immigration or criminal violations. Okay, then secondly, we find out about prior applications filed for you and certain interactions at the border, what happened at the US port of entry. Okay, now let's move to the next page. We also file your records. We request your immigration history to know what documents the government has about you that could affect you in terms of your eligibility for an immigration relief. And then we could also use this to assess potential risk of referral to ICE or other enforcement. Yeah, we want to be able to pull this thing up so that we see, is there a risk of deportation for you according to your records? And then we also see a paper trail of previous immigration history to help piece together what has happened so far in your immigration journey. Again, always useful for sometimes moving forward, or even sometimes some people are US citizens, but they come and say, hey, can I have my immigration records? That's great to have, because you don't want to be blindsided by anything. You should have records of your immigration history. What are the types of, now we move to what types of records can you get when you file a FOIA? And all this information, again, you can pull up about you. You can get your immigration file, which is known as the A file. You can get border encounters. You can get criminal records, your tax returns, federal employment records, military service records, previous, I think even the forms you file, that's under the A file. There's a lot encompassed under the A file. So that's it. You can get a lot of records by filing the FOIA. Okay, now let me close this shared screen. You can file the FOIA depending on which federal agency you've actually interacted with. So with immigration, the common ones, the popular ones, USCIS, which is United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Let me see, then CBP, Custom and Border Protection, Parole. I always, this acronym. For some reason, protection, parole. I think it's protection. Then ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Then OBIM, Office of Biometrics and Identity Management. Then EOIR, Executive Office of Review, Immigration Review. So USCIS is the affirmative application, CBPs for the border protection. You know, if you're coming into the US, then they kind of, they'll do the documentary inspection and then check your bags, make sure that you don't have prohibited items you're coming into the US with. And then OBIM, of course, your identity, they manage the identity. EOIR is the immigration courts, and DOS, usually the US embassies around the world. Okay, so those are some of the agencies that you can actually file the FOIA request with, and then you will be given your records. I just wanted to go over again the OBIM. OBIM, interactions with border officials. Example, information on removals or voluntary returns at the border. That's for OBIM. So, so DHS is the federal agencies under DHS are USCIS, CBP, and ICE. Okay, CBP and ICE, and then OBIM, and then the Department of Justice is EOIR. That's the Department of Justice, and then Department of State is the DOS. That's consular processing and visa applications. If you even want to, we can actually pull up all your visa applications. You know what you filed in the past, what you stated. We can pull those up through a FOIA request. These are things that people don't know. So before you even move forward, you see, like, it's like if you get into a room, like a battlefield, and the battlefield is very dark, and you have all these, your opposers or your enemies, they are on the other side and they are around the field. You are there, the room is dark, or well, the battlefield is dark. How do you prevent yourself from getting hit, or how do you defend yourself? Or how do you also kind of retaliate or fight back? First of all, if you cannot see who the enemies are, and then secondly, you don't know what ammunitions they have, because if they have guns, then you have to wear bulletproof vests and a bulletproof helmet. If they have, boxing gloves, then you know what you take also on your side. If they have knives, stabbing knives, then you also know how to protect yourself. So it's important that before you apply for any type of US immigration benefit, you kind of, especially if you have an immigration history, you kind of want to go back and pull up all those things. We synthesize the information, kind of review it, and then we'll be able to tell you what to do, what not to do, what to rectify, what not to kind of touch, and all of that. Okay, so that's about it. That's why we file FOIA requests. Let me read some questions and comments. Let me actually start with Facebook. Wow, we have HRM, His Royal Majesty Drolo Boso Adamte one. He's actually a king in Ghana, but is here in the US. Thank you so much for joining. Such a pleasure. I appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot. Okay, and Happy New Year, of course, HRM. Kwabna Poku Ajemang. He says he's watching from Louisiana. He's on LinkedIn as well. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Is this YouTube? Yes, YouTube. Lucy says Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. John Senya on LinkedIn is dropping the Ghana flag. Wonderful. Nilamte says Ghana, Kukwa Dakwa Opong. Also dropping the Ghana flag. She's on LinkedIn as well. And then we have King Kelvin Samuel Kluche. He's on LinkedIn. He says, I'm watching on LinkedIn from Ghana. I'm a professional web developer. Let's connect and work together. Thanks for the offer. Thank you. Yes, I would I would like that. Let's see how that goes. Stanley Kwame on Facebook says, "Sister, please, do you work on both US and Canada?" No, I only work on the US, on US immigration. I do not handle Canada, Canadian immigration at all. Okay, so we have Bernard Boabing on YouTube, who's watching from Ghana. Angel Jones on YouTube. On YouTube, she's watching from Virginia. Angel, I hope you feel better soon. Okay, we're still waiting for you. So, okay, Yakubu Dauda says, "Keep up the good work, madam." Thank you, Yakubu. Amos Banahene says he has an H1B interview, help with some tips. Contact us and then we will help you. I call, nobody's picking my call. Is computer picking my calls? Alaji Muniru Nanga. Okay, on Facebook. Please, we're usually very overwhelmed. The phones are ringing off the hook. So if you call us and you don't get in touch with us, we'll call you right back. So because the thing is that once someone is on the line and you still call, it'll still go through as though no one is there, but right there. So we'll call you right back. Oh my gosh, my MacBook is about to go out of I'm running out of battery. I cannot believe this. Normally when people come on live video and they're running out of battery, I'm like, how can you not prepare? Like, why didn't you charge? Oh my goodness. Why didn't you charge your laptop or device? Like, look, don't judge. Life can get so crazy busy. I've had just a really busy, crazy morning. So let me take this off from TikTok. Okay. Alrighty. So please call us back or text us and we'll get right back to you. Okay. Please exercise some patience with us. There's a lot of questions. I cannot read everything. Thank you for sharing and educating. This is Isaiah. Can you request humanitarian parole from ICE with an outstanding deportation order? That's not showing, but yeah. Okay, that's from Makan Traore on YouTube. Please contact us. We need to evaluate your case and then we can give you a better answer and help you, okay? And Pedua Kwesi says on Facebook, can you help someone from Ghana to relocate? We can absolutely help you. Schedule a consultation and then we can assist you, okay? And then we have Alaji says, I call, nobody's picking. Okay, so we addressed that issue already. Now let me read from Instagram. Beatrice Quist says, my mom has filed 4 years now. We haven't heard anything. Can your office do something? We certainly can. We'll take a look to see exactly which part of the process, your case has progressed to. And then we'll see we'll see if there's anything we need to do. If there's nothing to be done, we'll let you know. But if there's something to be done, we'll certainly also let you know as well. Okay. Simon 7 says, I'm in the US, have a PhD. How much do you charge to help me apply for a green card? Please, you need to contact us and then we'll take a look at what you're trying to do. Mr. Evans said, what's the meaning of 212A6? 212A6, you've either been charged. So 212, Section 212 of the Immigration Nationality Act actually contains all the inadmissibility grounds. And it means you've either been charged with fraud or misrepresentation. Normally it's 212A6CI. Fraud or misrepresentation of a material fact with intent to deceive. You try to deceive a U.S. immigration officer, just so you could get an immigration benefit. So that's a big problem and gives you a permanent bar, until and unless you do something about it. You like file a waiver, there's something you can do about that. So contact us if you need our help. Nano Paku says, can one travel in and out of US with immigrant visa when green card has not been received? Absolutely, you can travel. You'll see that in the stamp of the immigrant visa. It says this will act as an LPR or I-551 for 1 year, normally valid for 1 year, so you can travel. Okay. Princess Bio on Instagram says, having difficulty getting my invoice number from NVC. Can we help with that? Yes, we can certainly help you. Contact us will help you, okay? There's someone, life.is756, please marry me. Okay, so Moletune Ray says, can you file, it wasn't marry me, it was marry me. So I don't know what that means. Can you file VAWA after you have your 2 years conditional green card? No, VAWA, you file it when you have nothing at all. If you have your 2-year conditional green card, you need to file a removal of conditions based on abuse if you're trying to file based on abuse. And we can help you with that. Make sure you contact us and then we can assist you. Life is 756 is looking so cute. Okay, thank you. Kojo Okoto says, if you were refused visa in Ghana 16 years ago, do they still have your records? They absolutely do have your records. And it's important that we actually pull up those records. Just so, sometimes what happens is that someone's mother's name, they put maybe an agent filed a visa application for them. And then they put their mother's name as Abanam Pedu. 10 years down the line, you file yourself and you put your real mother's name, which could be maybe Rebecca Brown. That's a big red flag because your mother can be one person. So sometimes it's really helpful to pull up those records so that you don't make mistakes. Okay, guys, I'm going to be hopping off soon. I think I have to read some comments from TikTok. John 674 on TikTok says, I have been applying for green card about 4 years now. I'm always going to ask for it and they told me to reapply. Yeah, contact us and we'll help you. You see, sometimes I tell people, look, and I don't even know if I heard it from somewhere, but immigration applications, they are not lotteries. It's not a lottery where the more you apply or the more you apply, the higher your chances of getting a green card. No, it's not a visa lottery. It's serious business. It's a green card application. Sometimes what happens is that the more you even apply, the worse your case gets because you keep contradicting yourself. You keep submitting and resubmitting wrong information about yourself. And then, you cause more problems for yourself. You complicate your case. So you want to be careful with just applying and applying and applying. Okay, guys. I have to go. I have another meeting. I'm just trying to join that meeting now. So I'll see y'all in our next video. Please take care and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for joining. Oh, of course, don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, TikTok.